Welcome back to Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holton. Today I have a lady that I have known ever since we opened up Von Holton Ranch. Her name is Bailey Marriott, right?
That's right.
Bailey Marriott. Okay, so I've been calling her by the wrong last name, and I'm like, well, how do you say this? And she's like, oh, it don't matter. But it's spelled Marriott. So people are going to say Marriott. People are going to say Marriott.
Right, just like the hotel.
Yeah.
We say, if we are out in a different state, we say Marriott just because that's what everybody's used to.
Yep.
But everybody here's got lazy tongues, and it's Marriott.
Marriott. So your family, all of them, like this right here is like the Midwest, but with like bold, italicized, underline, and like with an exclamation mark. Like y'all are the true picture of what the Midwest looks like to me. So, okay, so let's do a little bit of explaining, because I love whenever I have these cowgirls on here that they don't just do one thing. It's diverse. It's very diverse. Okay, so I can't wait to explain Bailey to y'all, okay? And Bailey, I hope that y'all get the opportunity to look around, because Bailey, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, so I put you at least 6'2". Okay.
Sometimes I feel 6'2", so.
Yeah, Bailey's she's a tall girl. Yeah. And she mounts, I went and moved some cattle with them, and I was all like, I need a mounting block, because I'm like chubby, and she's like, I got it. And I'm like, oh, God. Yes, you do. So she's a lot more cowgirl than I am, a lot more like having to take care of her nieces and nephews on horses, get off and get fences, move cattle, and I'm over here like, oh Lord, I hope I don't fall in something. And you're like, you got to move that cow, and I'm like, okay. So she's the real deal. Okay, so let's talk about. So Bailey, you have 2 sisters and a brother. Yep. So, and you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Okay. So the one of the sisters, so she's got a sister named Morgan and a sister named Kelly, and then you've got a brother named Trey. Now, is his name really Trey, or is it actually Lee or something?
Right. So Trey is the third.
Right.
His name is Mansell Lee Merritt the third.
Mansell Lee.
Yep, Mansell.
Okay.
That was my grandpa's name. My dad is the junior, and then Trey is the third.
Okay. So I have a cousin named Trey, and I was at his hanging out with some of his high school friends, and then I called him Gene Allen, because that's really his name is Gene Allen. They were like, why is she calling you that? And I was like, Trey for the third? Mm-hmm. And they were like, they had grown up with Trey, did not have any idea that meant the third.
Yes, yeah. Trey is actually geographical. If my brother is famous, infamous, I don't know which, but when we started getting older, we called him Mansell. All of us girls called him Mansell, and depending on which state he goes to, people call him all sorts of names. They love the name Mansell because it's not a very common name.
Right.
So he is known by many names.
Yeah. Well, with the word mantle, he's a cowboy.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. And he's thick too. A lot of cowboys don't have no meat and potatoes on them. He's got all the meat and potatoes. He's a big boy.
Yep, he is.
So, okay. So, Bailey, you have a BS in animal science and then a minor in business. So where'd you get those? Where'd you get that degree at?
At Northwest Missouri State University up in Maryville. It's about 4 hours from here. It was whenever we went and we're looking at schools, I was accepted to MU, accepted to Springfield, and when we went to Maryville up there in the pit of Missouri weather, it was snowing in October, and I told my mom and dad, this is where we're going. Oh. So
you're like, this has got bad weather. I feel like I'm at home.
Yep. So it's a little, small community, farming community. And, by the time I left, when I went, I didn't know anybody. By the time I left, it felt like home. I couldn't walk through Walmart without seeing somebody I didn't know.
Okay. So you have a minor in business. So do you wish that you would have flip-flopped them?
I do. We on the ranch, we see a lot. I get to do a lot of stuff. Work very closely with our vet, so I pretty much get all the animal science things that that I need to fulfill that passion. The business side, the courses that I took in the business minor are the most applicable to the things that we face in our businesses. All of our businesses. Those things are the most applicable. The things that I reflect back on, this is kind of how management is set up and management of people is set up, and we use those a lot. I reflect to those a lot, and management and marketing were two that I wish I could have went deeper into, but with a minor you just kind of skim the top of them.
Yeah, I have a minor in physics, and I'm like, like I use it now with archery,
right?
But I didn't have to do all that I did.
Like not making any rockets.
No. I'm trying to shoot fire off of my mule and like working on my arc, but like, no, I think I don't think I needed a minor in physics, but I was there and I only needed a couple more classes, so I went ahead and did it. Okay, so we've kind of talked a little bit about there's multiple businesses. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so right now you have your business just turned 1 year old on the last day of September?
Yes.
Last day of September. She's now been open for a year with a coffee shop, and it is called the Ranch House.
Yep.
Okay, so let me explain the town where she lives at now and where her business is at. It's a town called Stover. So here we are. We're in a town called Mora, but Mora, it kind of sounds bad, but it doesn't exist. I mean, it does exist, but it's just like a teeny tiny, like there's just a few businesses in it. There's not a post office. So there's like a ton of like these small towns around here. So the next town closest to me is Coal Camp, but if I go the back roads, the first town to me is Stover, okay? Or I can go through Coal Camp to Stover. But Stover has a major intersection in it, and at that intersection is where people are going to the lake. Okay, so you've got a lot of people that do a lot of family events there. They vacation. Some of them have second homes. It's a very lucrative area, okay? And they have to drive and turn in Stover. That's one of the ways to get there. There's other ways to get there, but that's the way a lot of people do. So their businesses are right on that road whenever people are having to slow down to turn at that intersection. So past Stover is a town called Versailles, and we do a lot of there's 7 miles in between Stover and Versailles. But in our area, there is something massive coming, and I hope that I end up getting to do a podcast interview with the owner of that. But there is something called the Ozark Raceway. I don't know if is there another word with it, or is it just that?
I think so far that's all I've seen is the Lake Ozark Raceway. So we're not talking about a dirt track. We are talking about one of those like paved tracks where it's looking like some high-end cars. And so our area is about to have some major players come through it, and they're going to have to turn right there to go to that raceway that's not very far away. How far do you think that raceway is from your coffee shop? It's 15 miles, and there's no other towns, no other businesses between there.
Yeah, I know. So here is Stover. It's a smaller town, but it's about to have a major player in it, okay? Mm-hmm. And then here's Bailey with she owns a coffee shop. Her coffee shop is doing amazing. So we have these events called Chicks in the Sticks, and we take our entire group over to their coffee shop, and oh my gosh. So tell us about your coffee shop. And your main coffee maker has a name? Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell us all about your coffee shop.
So we started our coffee shop in 2019. We literally walked into a house that was next to our Western store. And when we walked in, we said, this has got to be a coffee shop. That's what we saw. And most everybody thought we were nuts. But we wanted a place, we really worked on a target market. We wanted a place for people to come, whether they had 5 minutes to take a little break in the morning or 20 minutes to take a break. We wanted them to be able to come, get a cup of coffee, An espresso coffee is what we love the most. A quick breakfast, in and out. They can spend as much time as they need there or as little time as they need. We put a drive-through in, and we are Stover's first drive-through, except for the bank, and it has been crazy. The driveway is often, there's 7 to 11 vehicles in the driveway every morning. So the driveway moves constantly. Sometimes it's backed up all the way into the street, sometimes backed up into our Western store parking lot. But we wanted to make a little coffee shop that everybody felt comfortable in, that, when you get into $4, $5, $6 cups of coffee, people are anxious about it. It makes them nervous. They don't know what they want. And so we kind of brought that culture to our town, something that you don't have to be scared of. It's funny what people are scared of.
Oh, yeah.
They were scared of a $5 cup of coffee, and now those people come talk to us every day and get a cup of coffee.
Right. I mean, you're like 20 minutes away from me, and I go there to get a cup of coffee, but it helps me. It's not really set up for a large amount of people on the inside. It's more like come get it and on your way to work, okay, or the drive-through. But there are a few chairs in there and a table that's made out of an old door. It's really cute. And I will go there to plan my day in the morning. Sometimes I just need to get away from my own chaos for 30 minutes or so, drink a cup of coffee. And then they also serve some amazing food. They have breakfast burritos. They have cinnamon rolls. The cinnamon rolls, better get 2, okay, because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that was so good. Then they have scones, and my favorite scone is the pumpkin. Oh, the pumpkin is, okay, like for real. Like, I'm not some little person. If a big girl tells you the pumpkin scone is good, then you need to get 2. Okay, then they also have breakfast burritos, and they make all sorts of sandwiches on bagels. But the sausage, tell them about your sausage.
So our sausage comes in 5-pound rolls, and we have never owned a restaurant before, so we got hooked up with a food guy who is awesome, and he said, "This is the sausage you've got to use. It comes in big pound packages. You'll have to hand patty it." So that's what we do. We hand patty it, and it is out of this world. People ask if they can find it in grocery stores. I have yet to find it in grocery stores. Yep. Or find anything to replace it. We run anywhere from 60 to 80 pounds of sausage a week.
Yeah.
Just because, and people who are not, I was not a sausage person. Nope. I was a bacon person. We opened the coffee shop, and I had a sausage sandwich for breakfast this morning.
Yeah, that sausage, it's thick. It's thicker than a Snickers, okay? Like, not literally.
I hand patty everything, and that was something in our food. We wanted fast food. We call it the ranch house because we wanted to bring part of the ranch to town. When we're at the ranch, riding pins, working cows, whatever mom drives up and hands out the window is what you get to eat on your horse. So it was either a sandwich or a breakfast burrito.
Yep.
And it was something that was probably going to have to last you all day because you probably weren't going to be done working till dark. So she tried to get breakfast into everybody, and good luck on the rest of the day. She'll see you when work is done.
Yep. Well, I know that we have people that live out of state, and you have like a program where they get so many points. And we have people that live out of state, and the husband came with the wife, because usually a lot of wives are here by themselves. And while they were checking out, he was like, okay, this coffee shop that's not even in our state, we have enough rewards to get a drink for free, okay? And so the wife was just like, yeah, I might have a problem, okay? Because they like come there every time they're in. Like, it feels like part of their adventure here is to come to your coffee shop. So, okay, what's the name of your big old coffee, your red coffee maker thing?
Oh, Scarlet, our espresso machine. We have a 3-head espresso machine, which when we purchased it, 3 heads is quite a few heads for, as small as coffee shop as we are. And we said, we can grow into a 3-head machine. Oh, no, we had to use all 3 heads the very first week. The first week was crazy. We're obviously not baristas to any level. the first week we opened, and we'd all been to some barista training, and then we opened the doors and we became baristas very quick. So Scarlett is our big red espresso machine. She's a little temperamental, but she takes care of us.
Well, aren't all redheads a little bit temperamental?
Yes,
okay.
We have 2 redheads. Our grinder is also red, and they are the honorary redheads in the coffee shop.
Okay, so, all right, I used to order something called a nutty squirrel, but then I like something to be a little bit less sweet, so now they got me drinking something called a black-eyed squirrel. So I love that. And, I have never reheated coffee in my life, okay? And I had a person bring me a coffee, but I was already on my own cup here, so I was like, But then I wanted to drink it. I've never reheated coffee, and it was good. I reheated it, and it was great. Okay, so, I did not know that was even an issue or, even a thing. And I even had to put on Facebook, hey, has anybody ever reheated coffee? And apparently a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. So now, if I ever have somebody going, I'm like, hey, go ahead and pick me up one. I'll drink it later. Okay, so I have to do a funny story, okay? All right, so one time my husband and I went to the coffee shop, okay? So Bailey has a younger brother. So instead of, here is how he should have ordered. He should have said, I want this drink, I want this sandwich, okay?
Correct.
But instead, Trey orders the drink, which takes a hot minute to get, because everything's made right there. And she's got a line of people. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I want a sandwich after she hands him the coffee. So Bailey, rips this man a new one, rawr, okay, beep, 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 beep. Okay, so, and here's my husband and I knew Trey. I knew that she was ripping her brother a new one. Well, my brother, oh, my Lord. My husband, okay, do you know that I mess up and I call my husband, my brother, at least 5 to 10 times a year? It is so gross that I mess up on that, and I don't know why. I think because I love him so much and I love my brother so much. But my husband, he was like, dude, whenever we order, we need to get it all together, okay? And so... And then I was like, okay. Well, afterwards, he was like, I like her. He's like, dang it, that person needs to order their food and their drink together next time, and he was just like, oh my gosh, finally somebody that's standing up for the business owners too. And then I was like, David, that's her brother. And he was like, oh man, he was so almost crushed that she wasn't just ripping this cowboy a new one in the morning about ordering his food and his drink together. I loved it. Nobody else was there, in the building, but I was like, oh, we felt like a dog at a tennis match. We were like, this is awesome to get to watch. Oh my gosh, and then you know what Trey said? He was like, okay, I'm sorry. He was like, okay, I'll do that. He knew he was in the wrong. Bailey got a hold of him.
Yeah, next time. That's his famous, oh yeah, next time. Oh, thank you. Next time you'll get it right.
Okay, so the coffee shop is super cute. I think isn't that house the oldest house in
in Stover?
Stover, almost called it Windsor, and then I went to Warsaw. There's some other small towns around here, but it's the oldest house.
Yes, so the original part, so there's basically, it is a 4-room house, and the reason you can tell that is because all 4 floors are wood floors, but they are different wooden floors depending on what was popular in that decade. So the original house, when that land was donated to the city, that was the first lot of land separated off to an individual, and he built the first little shack on it. So.
Oh, okay. So right next door to the coffee shop is something called Rocking M Western Emporium, okay? So Rocking M for the last name of Marriott, and then Western, and then why did y'all go with the word Emporium?
Because my mom is a literary nerd and loved the word Emporium.
Okay. Well, on our website, we have a Country Tough Mercantile, and we have people struggling with mercantile. We're like, mercantile, that's where you buy stuff.
Where you buy stuff.
Yeah. So we're just going to, if you see Country Tough Mercantile, you click on it and you go look and see what I have for sale.
And you go shop.
Yeah, you go shop.
Yes,
please.
an emporium means an assortment of things. And from the time that we started, we have had belts and purses and candles and home decor and clothing and boots and saddles. And we rent tuxedos. We have tons of stuff. So
even shape hats.
We shape hats. Yep. Custom shaped cowboy hats. We clean hats. We do so many. We had dry cleaning for a while. Yeah. So it is truly an emporium. We do so many things. And that's literally what the word means is all of the things. And that's what we do at the store.
It's like the clothing form of the word casserole, okay? Which you couldn't call your store Rockingham Western Casserole.
But I bet people would remember casserole, so.
Oh, my gosh. Well, here's things that I have purchased from y'all, okay? A lot of gifts or prizes for events in the past when we had to do a lot of gifts, and now we do ribbons and buckles mostly. But we've bought these little zipper pouches that said Boss Lady on them. I'm actually looking at one right now as we're talking. I have bought some of the most glittered, rhinestoned, beautiful sunglasses there. Okay, I have my favorite knife I bought from there. I've bought wild rags. I've bought
your t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, the t-shirt I have on that's striped, yeah. My purse, I get so many compliments on this. It's a purse that it goes across my body, and then it's got at least 12-inch fringe on both sides. And so I get so many compliments on that. I mean, I'm just walking around basically with like a billboard saying, Rockingham, it's in Stover. You can look them up online. So let me think here. I think I've bought some wild rags from y'all. And then you just discontinued it, but you used to have something called the Loft upstairs, which was like a resale, but y'all decided you're like, we got to pull an iron out of the fire. So I understand that. We've had to do the same thing with our business. We grew, then we're like, that's too much. That's a nickel standing in the way of $1. It was too much time commitment, and we've had to cut back and scale back on things. But we're always swinging. We're always trying. And then there's things like Chicks in the Sticks. We bring it's either a limo or a charter bus, but to tell you the truth, right now we're leaning towards the charter buses because you've got captain's chairs. But a lot of people have never rode in a limo, and they're just like, oh, we want to ride in a limo. And then they're just like, okay, next time I come back, I want you to have the charter bus, because to get in a limo, you've got to bend over, get up in there, and then you got to scoot your little butt all the way to the front, okay? Well, anyways, so we bring charter buses now to the Rockingham Western Emporium, and they'll do after-hour shopping for us, which has been nice. And they have Alexa. Alexa is in there playing music, but I'm able to talk to it and turn it up and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, Alexa, play this. And I'm like, louder. So it's nice to come in there in the after hours, and we get to have this really cool event. So so with Rockingham Western Emporium, you last year were the president of the Stover Chamber of Commerce right now, and then now you're on the board for Versailles, right? So what's some benefits of being active with your Chamber of Commerce?
So with our chamber, with the Stover Chamber, we were the president. My sister and I were officers, and we got a lot of benefits because we were we became the people that if anybody needed anything in town for like business, or they were looking for a specific product, we became a place that they could come no matter what. If we didn't have an answer for them, we would find an answer for them.
Right.
When our chamber, whenever I got elected president, I had things that I knew I needed in my business for my business to succeed. And I felt like those other businesses in town, if they had those same benefits, they would also, see some success in those things. So as president, I was able to implement those things and we were able to, make events bigger. And we struggle with a mindset of the Chamber of Commerce is another community organization. That is, and we fought that a little bit. It's not a community organization. It's a business organization. Businesses belong to chambers to earn money.
Right.
And they have to be profitable. So the chamber has to do things, trash pickups are great. And, all those other events are great events. But if they are not bringing business to your businesses, they do not need to be chamber events. So that's something that we tried changing the mindset. And when we worked on chamber, we worked on it for our business.
Right. So, okay. So I've already talked about the size of my town is Mora, which we're really close to Sedalia. So we're part of Sedalia is where the state fair is for Missouri. And there's a college there, a community college, and there's a health center. So it's like a large town, but then not a city. It's not like big city, but we're in that county. But then our school taxes go to the neighboring town of Cole Camp. But then I am closer back roads to Stover. That's in a different county. So I'm in Pettis County, but a lot of my taxes go to a county called Benton County, but then I'm actually closer to businesses in Morgan County. We are literally like the donut hole of trying to, and then I have an 816 telephone number, which is Kansas City, and then we've got a 660 for the business. We're so confusing to people, but what that means is whenever you come to our area, you have so many businesses and mom and pops and small town things. Just basically you're in the middle of a star, and however we have you go out, you can go and have these unique experiences. So what we have done, most of our income does not come from local people. Most of the time our people come from, last year a couple of years ago, we had an event where we had people from 20 states and 3 countries. Okay, so, but whenever they come here, they want to experience something. And with the cost of fuel prices going up, whenever they come here, I want them to spend an extra day and really have a really cool event to happen. So I've joined Chambers of Commerce with Stover because Stover is also going to have that raceway. And then we have Versailles. Versailles has something called an Apple Festival. And I think 30 some odd thousand people come to that. I don't really know the numbers.
Yeah. The last one was 24,000. It is Missouri's largest one-day festival. I know that's what it was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
I don't know if it continues to hold that name, but it...
Well, who cares if they get second place?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's still big. And then on the other side of us, Sedalia's got everything you're going to want in it. It's got a Walmart, we got JCPenney, we've got a lot of barbecue places. But then Warrensburg also... in between Sedalia and Warrensburg is Whiteman Air Force Base, which brings in a ton of military. So in our area is so rich with small businesses where I will tell you, if you go and buy a $20 shirt from somebody in one of these small towns, that's oh my gosh, thank you. We're so appreciative for every time we buy a shirt. We do a little ooh, yeah. Little happy dance, okay? So a lot of people do not realize the importance of a chamber of commerce, and I didn't. I just thought that was something that banks did or something. But no, a chamber of commerce, wherever you're going, you need to type in that town's name and then type in Chamber of Commerce, and you will find out all the businesses. Well, you won't find out all of them. Some of them don't take part in the Chamber of Commerce, but you're going to be able to get access to a lot of them. You'll be able to start linking her through and find whatever you're looking for. So, okay, we've talked about the Ranch House, which is the coffee shop. We've talked about Rockingham Western Emporium. And now then, let's talk about y'all's cattle operation. Okay, because y'all y'all don't usually birth or have calves. You don't have a cow-calf operation, correct?
No, we do.
You do have one. Okay. I was under the impression that y'all were, you bought them and then you got them bigger and then they took them from y'all to a feedlot.
So we do that too.
Okay. So, oh, yay. Hey, I wasn't all wrong. I was just half right. Okay.
So we get to play a little bit in multiple sectors of the beef industry. We have a cow-calf operation. We calve primarily in the spring, but we are also working on a fall herd as well. That's where we get our baby calves, and then we take them all the way up to close to 900 pounds, feed them out to 900 pounds, and then sell them, and they go into a feedlot.
And feedlot, they usually go from 900 to how much weight?
It kind of depends on the animal. Basically, when the animal is ready for slaughter and harvest.
Okay.
So that could be anywhere from 1,200 pounds to 1,400 pounds. 14's a pretty big calf, but our cattle are pretty moderate, so pretty medium, pretty right in the middle. So they're going to weigh around 1,200 when they finish.
So y'all take care of about 2/3 of their weight that they're going to, they come, when they leave you, they've just got that last third to put on. Okay. So, tell us about what breed that y'all use, or do you,
Yeah, so we use a Gelbvieh Balancer breed. Balancer is a combination of Gelbvieh and Angus cattle. We use a lot of registered Gelbvieh bulls, some Balancers, and then our cows are Gelbvieh. We retain quite a few heifers a year. We don't buy a lot of outside cattle specifically to keep our genetics, to keep the breed going and our genetics continuing. We buy outside bulls, registered seed stock Gelbvieh or Balancer bulls to put on our cows.
Okay, so, all right, I told you she's the real deal because I've never heard of Gelbvieh. Spell that for me.
G-E-L, hold on, let me write it. G-E-L-B-V-I-E-H. It's a very German word. They're German originated.
Okay, I'm so sorry that I just asked you to do that in front of everybody because I'm all like, what's this word she's saying? So why did y'all go with that breed?
So my mom grew up in eastern Wyoming, and they raised Gelbvieh cattle out there. So they're red. They're pretty. They're very growthy calves. They get good size. They grow fast. But mainly the Gelbvieh's mothering abilities we love so much. Our cows, whenever they calve, they're ready to take care of their calf. They have extremely high milking abilities as well. So they are something that can milk enough to grow a big calf, but not take so much out of her body that she loses condition and doesn't breed back. Okay. So she's a great in-between cow that can have a calf, breed back, and be ready to do her job again and another.
Okay. I just learned something during my own podcast. This is great. I will go back and listen to this again so I can, because I like to listen to things more than once because it helps me retain. But wow, that's really cool. Okay. So I was, y'all, tell us about the working of the cattle pens. Like what all goes into that? Do you do that mostly from horseback, or do you do it from foot, or do you use ATVs?
Yeah. So all of our, cow-calf pairs and what is in our feed yard, we have a stocker yard. We do pretty much primarily on horseback. My dad builds custom pipe and sucker rod fence and cattle handling facilities. So all of our alleys are big enough to swing a gate on a horse. We use our horses to gather cows. We use them to work them in the pens. We think that that's the best option for us. Our cows are fairly gentle. I take care of a set of cows at my house. I get in trouble for them being too gentle, but I spend a lot of time out in them, and we like to be out in them and, to be able to ride your horse through and they not scatter four ways to the wind. So we do everything on horseback. My mom checks cows in a ranger. She's usually got a grandbaby or two with her. Mm-hmm. So they do a little ranger. Like our heifers are calving right now. They're gentle. She can drive up to them in the ranger and tag calves and make sure everything's okay. But as for moving and sorting and those types of things are all done horseback.
Okay. What's your favorite horse's name?
So I have a gelding. I have a gelding and a mare. He's a split gelding. My brother and I share him, and his name is TL, which stands for true love.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And so the guy that we bought him kind of through another guy, but he got his name because the man that owned him, his wife or girlfriend, paid all of his bills, all of his horse bills, and they said that was true love.
Oh, okay. So his name is True Love.
So his name is TL.
Okay.
Stands for true love.
Okay. So tell us about your mare.
My little red roan mare, bay roan mare, she's actually a mare that we raised. Mm-hmm. My dad bought a mare from a sale, and then she had this colt, and her name is Rockin' M. Ruby. And she's actually been out here several times. It's what Larkin competes on.
And Larkin is her niece.
Larkin is my cousin.
Cousin, okay.
Yes, she's one of my second children.
You're right.
So Larkin started riding her last spring at the ranch, and then I have rode her. We've had some issues keeping her sound, so I hadn't been riding her as much, and I have several other irons in the fire. So Larkin started riding her, and she is bred to a gypsy stud.
Right.
So she is getting ready to have her first colt here in the next couple months.
So your mom, I think it's your mom, is a huge fan of the gypsies.
Yes.
Okay. It does not seem like we're really ranchy and we got our gypsies.
Right. Yes. My mom is a gypsy at heart.
Yeah.
The gypsy, so we, back in 2010, we boarded some horses for a gal, and she had a half Clydesdale, half gypsy colt. We weaned the colt at our place. That was kind of something we offered whenever we boarded these horses. And that little mare, which she's still around, my mom's getting ready to maybe have a colt out of her. That little filly was it. That was kind of the spark of my mom's love for gypsies. And she's not colored up. She looks like a Clydesdale like her mother. But this filly, whenever she was, I think we got her whenever she was 4 or 5 months old, you could literally stand at the fence and holler for her, and she would leave her mother to come to you.
Okay.
So this big gypsy, all the hoopla about their disposition, it's true. And I mean, it was true for her. She was just so sweet and so gentle and just wanted to please. You know, she wasn't rude. She wasn't invasive. She wanted to be in your back pocket, but still had a ton of respect. And
right.
My mom fell in love with them. So now we have lots of gypsies.
You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, like I did not grow up with a gaited horse at all. And now I have a Missouri Foxtrotter mule and a Tennessee Walker mule. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, this works. You know, and I do dressage with the Tennessee Walker, and I do mounted archery with the Foxtrotter. And I'm like, well, I guess that cookie cutter mold that you had for me is just not going to work.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And we didn't grow up with draft horses. And here in the ranch horse type world, the draft crosses have been super popular, quarter horses and drafts. And my mom grew up with draft horses. They fed hay with the draft horses and wagon. So, you know, my mom always has loved the wagons, and we got into racing, and racing wagons, and they bought a team. And I don't know what it's like. Once you buy one team, you just feel like you need more teams. So we have two Pertrin teams now, and then we bred our Pertrin mares to gypsies. So we have a team of gypsy Pertrins, and then whatever comes this year out of the gypsies and draft crosses.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually I have a salty mare named Glamour, and Glamour is like a little walking refrigerator, okay? She's not that tall, but she's getting the job done. And I think that I'm going to end up I'm going to breed her to a draft horse just so, because I'm big, you know what I mean? I'm bigger, and so might as well just go there. But I still love the quarter horses. I mean, even though I've got like this big old casserole of a herd, you know, we've got an Appaloosa out there and 2 paint horses that look like quarter horses, and then the 2 mules. But I'm like, well, I'll just go ahead and do a sport. I think a sport horse is what, half quarter horse, half draft, or am I wrong about that? Or do you know? I thought that was what a sport horse was. Yeah, because they've still they're athletic, but then they're just a little bit beefier.
Absolutely. Yeah, my mom likes her horses right now like she grew children. Pretty squatty.
Oh my gosh. Squatty, I always think about short, and I'm over here like I was
stout and squatty.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about, you had talked about all these nieces and nephews, and you're not quite 30 yet. You're underneath there for a little bit longer, but by the time this podcast comes out, and I know whenever I hit 30, I was like, whoo. But then when I hit 31 was like, well, gosh, dang, I'm actually here. Like, pump the brakes. But you are actually fostering a boy right now, a teenager. So there we go. We're just going to skip them baby years and just go right into a 13-year-old boy.
Yes. I've kind of been known for just going all in, and we went all in. We had the opportunity to work with him and provide some better things for him. So
You're a mama.
Yes. I, had a boy. It's 13.
13 inches? No, he's 13.
Yes.
I'm just going to start right there.
Yep. It's been great. Being so close to the ranch, and we grew up hard work. It didn't matter what you were doing. There's some old verbiage that goes with bullfrogs. If you're hunting bullfrogs, be the best bullfrog hunter you can be. And that's kind of what I've taken so literally at this point. And whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter if you're scraping stalls or showing horses or whatever. You do the best to your ability. You give 110%. And that's how I grew up. That's how my boyfriend grew up. And so we have this 13-year-old, and he has never worked so much in his life.
Yeah.
But
that's normal for y'all.
Yes.
I mean, working is the way, what do you do for fun? Oh, I do the jobs that I wanted to do the other day. Like I work, but we also play. Okay, so let's talk about this boyfriend, Joe. You've been with him for several years, and he's a logger.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Him and his partner own a sawmill, and he cuts all the trees.
Yep.
For the sawmills.
Mostly walnut, cedar, or does it even matter?
No, walnut, a little, it kind of depends on the time of the year, but walnut, cedar, oak, lots of white oak. So okay. The white oak, which I am, being an ag junkie, I like to know all the backstory and what things are going to be for. The white oak that they cut, actually, they call stave logs, and those logs go to make whiskey barrels.
Oh, okay. Well, he's making the world a better place.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
It's his hand in it.
Well, I know that for us, we've had to cut walnut down here before to help pay commercial property taxes, because that says hello every year, so like walnut logging has saved us in the past. Okay, so let's talk about, you do a lot for the beef industry other than being a rancher. So you've actually, you are the Morgan County, or Morgan Cattlemen's Association Vice President, or how do I say that?
Yep, the Morgan County Cattlemen's Vice President.
Okay.
So the way the Cattlemen's works is there are county affiliates in almost every county. And in our county, we do what we can as cattlemen. We get together and have meetings. We bring information to our cattlemen and help sponsor things. May is Beef Month, so that's something we do. We make sure that we've got, we either put something in the newspaper or stuff like that to promote beef and promote cattle in Morgan County.
Okay. And now you are also very active. You're a 4-H and an FFA mentor for beef?
Yes. So I grew up in 4-H. Stover didn't have FFA until I was a senior. So I was extremely involved in 4-H. I love cattle, I love beef, and all of everything that entails that. So it was my goal as a 4-H member to be able to give back to other kids. 4-H was my thing in high school. I didn't really participate in sports or anything like that. I wanted to be at home. I showed cattle through the summers. So it was my goal to come back and provide something to kids that don't have the opportunity to be around cattle. They don't have, the space to keep a cow or a calf. So what we do is I pull 10 steers out of our herd as weanlings, and we break those steers. I did 8 this year. We broke those steers to lead, and then I rent out those steers and help mentor those kids. I am their show mom / coach. We work together, and we have all these calves in a barn tied up, and we wash calves every week, and we lead every week, and we practice showmanship, and then we also haul to all of their shows. Mm-hmm. We go to about 6 shows, including the Missouri State Fair. And then at the Missouri State Fair, we enter the carcass contest. So not only do we physically show at the state fair, but our calves get loaded up and are harvested, and they actually judge their physical carcasses, which is kind of my whole deal. What I try to stress the most, we are cattle ranchers because we're providing beef for America to eat.
Right.
So that's something that I push really hard with that state fair program. The carcass show, we were able to do that and get actual physical data back on our cattle of this is how they grade, this is what they yield. Right. So that's something that's great information for the ranch as well.
Okay. So what's the highest y'all have ever ranked in anything or placed?
Let's see. So last year we didn't go to state fair because of everything going on. They didn't hold the carcass contest. But the first year at our carcass contest, I had a steer place top 4 in the carcass, and then all 3 of our steers placed in the top 15 of the actual carcass judging.
Wow.
So,
okay.
And then we go to several state shows, several county shows, and we love it.
Yeah.
I've got kids that when, I've got several kids that are really coming into their showmanship, and they are just really hard to beat in showmanship. So that's always my favorite. We might not be everybody's flavor, every judge's type of cattle at county fairs or whatever fairs, but you can't deny my kids are working on showmanship.
Right. With, I've competed some before, but now I get so much joy in the people that I coach and seeing them, place well or finally do whatever they're trying to do. If it's a flying lead change, or if it's they're finally trying to walk or trot and they're working on transitions. Like whenever they get it, I feel so much pride, and I can see that with your mentor program that you have going on with 4-H and FFA. Like, man, those feel like
they're my kids.
Yeah, they're
Whenever
your
we
kids.
go to a show, their parents are there and their parents help, but they are my kids, and I will back them up, and if there are any issues, I take care of it. If they've done something wrong, we discuss it, but they are my kids, and I expect them to act a certain way. And when we have so much fun. But I thought with this program, whenever I first started, I thought I'm going to change these kids' lives, and they have truly changed mine.
Yep.
It has been amazing. We all cry together. I've been putting steers on trailers for a lot of years.
Yep.
I cry every year. They cry every year, and then in 3 months we'll start over.
Yep.
And so we get to start this process all over, and just to see the growth from year to year. I've pretty much retained all of my kids. I started with 3, and then I had 8, and then this year one of them aged out. This year I have another 8, and 2 of them will age out next year. So it has been something like I have 2 cousins that do it with me, and I would have there's obviously a large age gap between myself and them, and I would have never been as close to them if I wouldn't have done this.
Right.
So it's been amazing.
Here we are, and you're 11 years younger than me, but like, I think I'm a better woman. I think I'm a better woman now after going through and helping others. I think it's mellowed me out, but then I'm a lot firmer than what I used to be because now I've went through a bunch of crap and all this stuff. But I think being a mentor is made me a better person. Like,
Absolutely.
made me more, not, I don't know if sensitive to their needs or just, I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's made me a lot more well-rounded and made me speak a little bit more clearly and just,
right. Filling out some people's needs and learning how people learn is something that has been detrimental in that mentorship because, not all of them see the same things or they don't hear the same things. You might be talking to 4 kids at the same time. They all perceive what you say differently. Mm-hmm. So being able to kind of connect on a different level and know their learning style, that has made me more perceptive to other people, not just kids,
right.
To realize that not everybody thinks. I can't even imagine people not thinking the way I think.
Right.
But now I know, like, it's just not first nature to, put your hand a certain way or whatever. Right. So that's been it. Definitely the well-rounded.
So here I have a young boy. He's 15 right now. That is, he's cleans in the stall barn, and we started him off at so much money per hour. Well, then I was not happy with his performance and actually dropped his pay by $1. Okay. And so I was just like, whenever you can do your job better, then I'll raise your pay back up. Instead of firing him and getting rid of him, I tried to motivate him, and now with me having to back up, a boy is different than a girl, okay, with a lot of the ways that we think and everything, but I have to make him a list, and then I have him come and talk to me throughout the list, and then I will spot check some stuff as we help develop him into an even better employee. But here's this 15-year-old boy, and I'm putting some work in. Oh, whoever is his future employer, you better write me a thank you note, okay, for all the stuff I'm going through right now with him. I mean, he's not a bad employee. He's just a 15-year-old boy, right? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's got to happen. But he'll probably end up managing our boarding barn. By the time that we get him molded, we're going to be like, you don't get to go nowhere. You got to stay right here, please. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's something we've found, with these kids. I tell them, to treat it like a job. If the barn does not look better than what the condition that you found it in, you're not done. If somebody is scooping poop, you need to be scooping. You right. need to find something to do. I try to instill, we are just young minds. You are just molding into adult minds. You mm-hmm. hope that when they become adults, they remember those things. They don't let somebody work and them not work. That's, right. My whole goal is to make sure that they are a good person and want to work hard. They find satisfaction in a job well done.
Right. And our Liam is his name, our worker here. He's moved up, got his $1 back. He's moved up from there. But something that I'm always having to say to him is don't be a 90% guy, be a 100% guy. And he's always like, I know. And I'm like, all right. So, and now my husband's even saying it, and me and him argue like cat and dog because he will do a project almost completely. And he's got a lot of, this year's our completion year, okay? So he probably won't listen to this unless I force him to, so I can just say whatever I want to, okay? Podcasts are not his thing, so anyways, but we keep telling him, and I love having my husband on board, but Liam doesn't understand that my husband's been a 90% guy, but now we've got lists, we've got these posters up that are divided by topics of, or projects that we've got to do, and we're marking things off because he's getting where he's 100%. But it's just good to have everybody on board with helping develop Liam. So, all right, what are some of the business things, that you were like, oh, if somebody would have told me that. Okay, because I know you, and here we are. Here we are in this agriculture business, agriculture-based business, and then that's who our clientele is. And if somebody would have ever told me how important social media and TikTok and video and being able to do nice photography was, like, literally, that is such a big part of my business. So tell me some things that you wish somebody would have told you if you would have listened. Okay, because a lot of times people could have.
Great point.
They could have told it to me, but I would have. I learned through scars, not words, a lot of times. Okay.
Yes. So I guess for probably both businesses would be stay true to who you are. In our Western store, several times we've bought stuff, well, we don't like it, but someone else might like it. Well, people shop with us because they love us and they love our style. And if there is something in there that is not our style, it does not sell well. So developing the foundation of our business, and we did that with the coffee shop. But we've tried a few things. People suggested, oh, you should try this. We've tried it, and it didn't go over well because, it wasn't something that we believed in.
Right.
So staying true to yourself, and I don't know if, obviously you think about those things now, having a different perception than what you would have had if somebody would have just told you that.
Right.
I mean, we are pretty true to ourselves people, but, in buying decisions, I am
deviated a little bit.
Right. I am not a camo person. I don't enjoy looking like a tree. So we'd put camo stuff in, and some stuff I was like, oh, that,
right.
That's not bad. But some stuff we put in that was just over the top, and it doesn't sell because that's not our brand. That is not, the brand that we ride for type of deal. So, and I would say it would be the same in the coffee shop. We would try some different things, and it just was a little too far outside of that target market, outside of that mission that we set. Mm-hmm. Setting your mission statement for your business has been the biggest game changer for us. When we started the coffee shop, our mission was to create coffee culture for our community. And if we didn't feel like if it didn't fall within that, we didn't do it.
Right.
With the store, we kind of worked backwards. We're just now hitting a new lick in the store. I mean, we're just grabbing gears right now, mm-hmm. and it seems to be building and getting bigger. And we have done some of those foundation type things, setting our mission, things that we believe, only doing things that we believe in, even if we don't know that we have the money in the pockets. Mm-hmm. Those companies that we believe in, we go ahead and bring in, and we're finding the more we believe in our stuff. Yep. That's something that we set a goal for. If we don't believe in the company behind the products, we don't carry it.
Right.
And that has been, that's just been in the last 6 months that we've made that change. And I think that we are already seeing fruits of that labor.
Right. Well, that's like we switched to USA made t-shirts and then USA made hoodies. Well, those were expensive. I mean, we charged people $60 for it because it cost us so much more, and it scared us to death with putting so much money into a product. But then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to sell a hoodie that's not USA made. And the same thing with my leggings, my t-shirts, everything that we can buy USA made, we do. And we just stand behind our product. And you know what? People stand behind us because they know that we're trying. I mean, that company that we're buying a hoodie from, that means a lot to them because it does cost more. That's because we are actually paying a worker that's there, it's going to help. it's going to help our whole entire country. And I know our country needs some help right now, so I don't mind being the one that's just like, hey, if you want this hoodie, you're just going to have to pay a little bit more for it. But it's going to last you longer.
Yep, and that's what we've found, on the ranch, we prefer higher quality stuff because we're hard on stuff. Jeans, we expect jeans to last the way we need them to last. And so those are the companies that we carry. And we have literally gotten saddle pads in, gave them to the cowboys at the ranch and said, use these, tell us what you think. In 2 weeks, they were so disappointed in these pads. They were coming apart. We took them all, shipped them back, and don't carry that company anymore.
Right.
We do not carry a company that doesn't believe in what we believe in as a family, as a business,
right,
for their community. Those things are important to us.
Girl, and you talk about being hard on clothes. Oh, my God, try to be a big-chested female, okay? Like, I am hard on bras. I'm hard on underwear. I'm hard on socks. Everything that you do not get to see is struggling. Whenever you see me, you know right now that you need to say a little prayer for all of my undergarments, okay? And then my pants. Oh, my gosh, one time I was looking at the inner thigh of my jeans, and the patch had been patched.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My granny gets to where she says, I'll use these jeans. I'll use the legs for patches, but I'm not patching these again. She won't do it.
Oh, no. And I did a video not too long ago about like waste not, want not. And here's my boots, okay, that I shared. And they had like the heel part of it was gone and it was busted out on the side. And I was like, oh, I don't want to put on the new boots, because when I put on new boots, I'm not going to think about anything else in the world other than them boots. That's how you, if you want to forget your troubles, put on a new pair of boots. Mm-hmm. Okay, you won't think about nothing. You'll just be like, hey, my pinky toe. Oh, my heel. That's all you're going to think about. Okay, so how do they find you? How do they find Rocking M? How do they find the ranch house? How did they find the cattle operate? Do y'all sell beef to individuals?
So we sell beeves to individuals. It's just kind of as they're ready. But pretty much everything is ran through our Facebook page, either the Ranch House or the Western Emporium. I run both Facebook. Along with my mom and my sister, run both Facebook pages. So our Rockingham Ranch Western Emporium is the first letters, RMRWE, or Rockingham Ranch Western Emporium is how you can find that. I believe our Facebook handle is RMRWE. And then the coffee shop is the Ranch House Coffee. Okay. There's other ranch houses, so it's the Ranch House Coffee specifically.
Right. And they can, whenever they click on that on Facebook, it'll say Stover.
Yes.
It'll say Stover. Okay, so any big things that you've got where you're like, oh my gosh, here's what we've got coming up?
Yeah, we are. So we're trying with the Western Emporium to do an event every other month. And right now we are gearing up for our fashion show. We had a fashion show in 2019, and it was a blast. It's we have a taco bar and that type of deal, and then we do a fashion show with local models. And right now we are working with a company, hopefully an American-made jean company, Kimes Ranch, to come and do personal fittings, and they are going to be our featured jean for the fashion show. And it'll be right there. We usually call it Small Town Saturday Night, and it is right in the middle of Stover. Mm-hmm. At the store, we use the porch for our runway. Like I said, we use local models, and we have every body shape and every age for models because we think that's extremely important.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll just be a fun night fun small town Saturday night. We've talked about having a band. We're still working on those things, but it will be a night. It's the first Saturday in June.
Right.
So that's what we're getting ready for that.
So last year I went to, it was the first time my husband, because we're usually prisoners in paradise here. Like we don't get to leave, okay, because we have people here and we've got to be here. But everything was really calm for 4th of July, so we got to go to your parents' house, and you weren't actually there because you spend that holiday with Joe,
right,
with the boyfriend. But they had Dexter Roberts there, who was like got third in the Voice. third in The Voice in 2019. And I'm just like, I didn't know that he was from The Voice. And I'm like, dang, that boy can sing. I'll book him. I want to help his career. Okay. And so I didn't know he had already helped himself and like had won some stuff. But we booked him to come back in October. But you just never, and then the fireworks show that your family put on was better than what I've seen at some towns, okay? Like, they brought their freaking A game, and I was like, what? I did not know that y'all were doing this. This was amazing. So, anyways, you just never know what's going on in Small Town USA. Small Town USA's got some big business things going on, and if you're ever interested in y'all ship, right? You ship clothes?
Yep. Our website is rmrwe.com, and we ship basically the website has just started this year, so everything that's new in the store goes up on the website.
Okay.
So you can pretty much shop whatever on there, and if you use in the search bar, if you use Bailey, my name, Bailey, it brings up my personal favorites for the store.
Yeah. So. And you know what? This is called Big Boss Mare. Okay. Like, Bailey's a big boss mare. Brandy's a big boss mare. She's taller, so hers looks better because it's spread out. But, I'm just letting you know for all the people out there that are looking for clothes, this is going to help out some people, okay?
Right. By no means am I a spokesperson for bigger girls, but I've been a bigger girl for a long time. I've spent a lot of life as a big girl, so.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, hey, thank y'all for tuning in to Big Boss Mare. If you are having difficulty finding anything, you can just make sure and just reach out to me, and I can help you get connected with them. So y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time right here at Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holten.